now that the more relaxed pandemic restrictions are in place under Alert Level 2. Let's find out from Mon Gualvez. He's reporting to us live from Philcoa in Quezon City. Good morning, Mon. It is Monday again. What has the morning been like for commuters today? And is the 70% capacity, allowable capacity in PUVs strictly being followed?
Charles, Monday morning seems back to normal during pre-pandemic times, especially for commuters, in which some of them are patiently waiting in line just to ride the public utility vehicle, just like here in Philcoa, Commonwealth, Quezon City, wherein there are still some commuters who are trying their luck getting on board to some PUVs, which most are already in full capacity. Yes, Charles, you heard it right. The 70% capacity in PUVs is not that strictly being implemented or followed, as many drivers say that they cannot control the passengers who want to go to their destination as fast as they could. Charles.
Well, these vehicles are becoming more and more packed. Mon, are we seeing more children in public transportation as well? I understand that kids are now allowed to go out and about. Are we seeing them in our public transportation?
Yes, Charles. Actually, since IATF downgraded the alert level status of Metro Manila into alert level 2, we have seen many parents who are bringing their children to many tourist destinations or different attractions rather, just like here at Quezon City Memorial Circle. However, compared in the past days, especially this weekend, for today, there is somehow a decrease on the number of children in public transportation, Charles.
Right, Mon, I did run into a bunch of traffic on the way here this morning. I'm assuming it is a little bit worse now. How's the traffic situation over there at Philcoa, and how's it going to look like for the next few days under these new rules?
Actually, traffic here in Philcoa, Commonwealth, Quezon City is starting to have a build-up right now, Charles. Vehicles are little by little moving slowly. Aside from the increased volume of vehicles, the ongoing construction of MRT-7 adds up to the factors of the current traffic. As you can see at my back, these are the vehicles coming from Fairview, and they are they're heading rather to Quezon City Memorial Circle. And as you can see, vehicles are slowly moving at this point in time, Charles.
Vehicles there behind you, Mon, as we have traffic now returning to near pre-pandemic levels. Are authorities considering maybe bringing back the number coding scheme, or at the very least the truck ban?
Exactly, Charles. MMDA Chairman Benhur Abalos said that they are actually studying of implementing once again the color coding and even the truck ban, especially that there is somehow an increase of the volume of vehicles, especially in EDSA. They are actually comparing the studies in which pre-pandemic time there are already 405,000 vehicles, and right now during the pandemic it is almost 402,000, 3,000 difference from the pre-pandemic level. That is why they are currently monitoring if they can return, or if they can implement once again rather, the color coding and the truck ban, Charles.
Thanks for those updates, Mon. That was Mon Gualvez reporting live from Philcoa in Quezon City. Manila Mayor Isko Moreno has announced that face shields will no longer be mandatory in the city starting today. In a social media post, the mayor said the LGU will be releasing an executive order making face shields non-mandatory in the city of Manila. But he added that face shields are still required in hospitals. Heads up, mall rats. Metro Manila's mall hours will be extended in preparation for the upcoming holidays. Starting November 15, all NCR malls may operate from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. on weekdays. The MMDA explained that the Metro Manila Council did this to decongest roads as the Christmas season draws near. However, the MMDA adds that mall sales will be limited during weekends and holidays. Metro Manila, nearby provinces, and other key cities in the country are now at low risk for COVID-19. That's according to data from the Octa Research Group. Speaking to us earlier, research fellow Professor Guido David said average new daily cases in NCR has gone down to 430, or back to the pre-Delta surge levels. David said the COVID-19 situation in Cavite, Laguna, Rizal, Batangas, Pampanga, and Bulacan have also been improving. Data showed Baguio City is also at low risk, while Cebu City is at very low risk for COVID-19.
The COVID situation in the nearby provinces is very good. They're actually at low risk according to our criteria. Most of the major metro areas are already at low risk.
Still, David warned against complacency, noting that COVID-19 cases may shoot up and affect healthcare capacities if the gains are not sustained. He welcomed the resumption of face-to-face classes and the further reopening of businesses, but stressed that children below 12 who are not yet eligible for COVID-19 shots are at risk if allowed to go out.
There's some risk with having children going out, especially the younger aged ones below 12. It's more difficult to educate them on why we need to wear face masks and what the consequences are.
Presidential Advisor for Entrepreneurship, Joey Concepcion, says he wishes that the shift to Alert Level 2 in NCR was done earlier. But he said it's never too late, as the easing of restrictions still allows enough time for small businesses to recover before the year ends. Speaking with us here on One News, Concepcion described downgrade to Alert Level 2 as a bold step for the national government. He says that many businesses in the metro will be able to recoup their losses under the new alert level. And Concepcion also says that there's always a possibility for cases to increase again, but he believes that this is less of a worry now that the vaccination rate is speeding up.
This is where I have a bit of problem with sometimes DOH. Why they say that, if cases do rise, then so what if cases go up? Provided those that are getting infected are fully vaccinated, and they would be prevented from severe illness and hospitalization. So while cases are going down now at the lowest level, and it's for real, with greater mobility, as I was saying, there is always a possibility for cases to go up. But even if cases go up, but the LGU is almost fully vaccinated or greater than 70%, then there is it's much more safe, no?
The country's surfing capital, Siargao, may soon ease their travel restrictions to further boost tourism. Gemma Vansenia has the report.
The local government of Siargao is eyeing further easing of travel restrictions for tourists. According to Surigao del Norte Governor Lalo Matugas, the local IATF will meet next week to discuss the relaxation of restrictions in the island.
We are requiring RT-PCR, and I hope by next week we can decide whether to allow full vaccination in lieu of RT-PCR.
He says airlines are also calling for more flights, seeing as more and more people want to visit the island. But he adds that they still have to limit tourist arrivals to ensure that the island will not become a COVID-19 hotspot.
There are already requests by Cebu Pacific and Philippine Airlines to increase their flights to the pre-pandemic time, but we cannot allow that 12 flights a day. It's too much for now.
Meanwhile, last Saturday, President Duterte led the inauguration of the Katangnan-Cabituonan Bridge. This three-point system bridge aims to help people get to the island's tourist hubs faster.
Dati, nung hindi pa cemented yung mga roads, nasa 2 hours. Kaya ikot ka kasi ikot ka. Tapos na semento siya, umabot na lang ng 45 minutes. Pero with the bridge, 5 minutes na lang.
President Duterte also commended the beauty of Siargao and told the residents to preserve it.
Any other human endeavor that would degrade sa inyong kagwapo sa lugar, pristine and ang inyong negosyo nga rin ang surfing man, i-enhance na lang ninyo na. But do not allow anybody to tinker anang inyong mga kahoy niya. Ayaw, sayang kayo. Nagtanaw mo.
For News 5, Gem Avancenia, we are One News.
In other news, the plan to withhold the 4 Ps cash aid from unvaccinated beneficiaries is drawing flack from some politicians. Former Vice President Jejomar Binay, who's running for senator in 2022, said the government may be seen as discriminatory, anti-poor and un-Christian if authorities were to punish only the poor, but not the rich and the middle class for their vaccine hesitancy. Re-electionist Senator Risa Ontiveros also criticized the Interior Department's proposal, saying the 4Ps law provided no vaccine requirements for recipients. Gabriela Party List also hit the proposal, saying it is a, quote, lousy scheme to cover up the Duterte administration's slow and inequitable vaccine rollout. The DSWD earlier said that it's studying the no vaccine, no subsidy proposal for beneficiaries of the Pantawid Pamilyang Pilipino program, or 4Ps. But speaking with Radyo 5's Ted Filon, Assistant Secretary Glenda Relova says that for now, they will stick with the current guidelines for the 4Ps, which do not require vaccination among the program's recipients. And Relova explained that 4Ps were intended to be human capital investment program for poor households, and still, Relova says the agency is encouraging the program's beneficiaries to get vaccinated.
Pag-aaralan po natin kung ano man po yung proposal na ito ng DILG, pero sa ngayon po kasi we have to stick with the current conditionalities po na meron under the law ng 4Ps.
The global surge in Delta variant cases is easing. According to analysis from Reuters, the daily average number of cases has fallen by 36% over the last 3 months. Even though the spread has slowed, the virus is still infecting 50 million people every 90 days. Some Eastern European countries are also experiencing record outbreaks. These include Russia, Ukraine, and Greece. Concertgoers share the horrors of being crushed in the deadly surge of the Travis Scott's concert that killed 8 people on Friday. Let's hear the details from Bloomberg Quick Take.
Once Travis came out, that's really where everything just went downhill.
It felt almost as if you were under an elevator and the elevator was coming down and there was nothing you could do about it.
You'd hear like everyone just saying, "Get out, I can't breathe, I'm about to pass out."
Got punched in the jaw, got punched in the back of my head. A lot of my friends have bruises. It was really bad. A lot of people lost their shoes.
So once we got there to where he was going to be performing the main stage, obviously the crowds start to pour in. People standing next to you. It's very crowded to where you can't really breathe. You don't have that much room in front of you or in back of you or to the sides.
Absolutely not to be seen. It's like you're fighting through an ocean. You're in an ocean. You're a pool, a deep pool. You're chest deep, and it's very hard to push back, forward, left, right.
The middle had literally started to break, and there just wasn't enough security telling people to push, move back, because we were literally just up against the rails and could barely breathe.
Still fully can't catch a full breath, because I have my chest is in so much pain from people pushing and literally crushing my chest in and my lungs.
And then he finally stopped the show because he noticed someone passed out, and he starts singing. He said, "Stop the show," but he's still singing while this person is passed out on the ground. And everyone around me was like, "What the hell is going on?"
Right after that, he just continues to play. And then literally you see the car just can't move because everyone just starts jumping. You see people climbing on top of the car, and meanwhile you have someone holding it's like an American Red Cross, the flag, "Hey, we need help here," and they can't get nowhere because he just kept performing.
This has by far been the worst I've ever seen.
I'm honestly just devastated, and I could never imagine anything like this just happening. And I'm gonna do everything I can to keep you guys updated and just keep you guys informed on what's going on.
And those are the top stories at this hour. Join us again later at 2 p.m. as we continue to monitor the day's biggest stories. You can also catch One News on Signal Play. Just register for a free account at www.signalplay.com so you can stream One News live anytime and anywhere. I'm Charles Lejano. Mask on, wash hands, and stay safe, Philippines. We are One News.